Are you really? Hi everyone, we are live on a Friday evening. Reason we're live this Friday evening is I'm actually up in the Scottish borders, and I thought it'd be ideal to actually catch up with Gavin Brown and show you all a little bit about the Junction shrimp that you designed quite a few years ago. Now, we also have got Gordo Stronach as well. Hi, Gordo.
Hi, Anne. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. We're still waiting. Oh, we've got 14 people on at the moment. So very fast people are coming on to this. Now, everybody that's coming on, do ask Gav questions and also ask Gordo questions as well. So I am just going to move everything around so you can't see me, so I can actually put all the comments in the feed. Okay, so over to you boys. And Gav, just tell us a little bit about the fly that you're tying this evening.
Well, Junction shrimp, sort of designed it about 40 years ago probably, just to get away from all the autumn coloured leaves that come down the water at this time of year. But it also works in the spring. We've got lots of springers on it as well, and I've got summer fish in the middle of summer nights. So it's certainly something different floating past their noses. So get on in time.
There you go, Gordo. Gordo, you've started fly tying quite recently. So and you obviously you caught your first salmon not so long ago. Well done. What kind of flies are you tying at the moment, Gordo?
At the moment I've been tying quite a lot of trout flies, as I've been doing more trout fishing than salmon fishing. But I go mostly my salmon fishing in the River Ness, which is a 5-minute walk from my front door. But I sometimes go salmon fishing with the River Spate Anglers Association. So they're a really nice club and they do loads of stuff for the kids. So we go trout fishing some days, and then the older children sometimes get to go on the river. So I think it was 3 weeks ago, a lot of us went down, it was about 5 or 6 of us, went down to Rothes and Aitken Way. And it was the best day that the RSAA had. And, well, me and my sister caught our very first salmon. And I think at the end of the day, there was 5 salmon caught in total, just by 6 of us. So
well done.
A good day. Thank you.
What did you catch it on?
So I caught it on a fly that I created called the Semper Dog. So it's a fly that's made out of my dog's tail. He went to the clipper people, so we asked them to keep a bit of his tail, and it's really long. So all the fly was made with Semperfly products, and we just added in his tail. And it was the second day I had fished it. I'd fished it previously a week before on another river and didn't have any success. So I took it to another river and I caught on it. So I was pretty proud of it.
Well done. I hope it becomes as famous as the Gary dog off the Tweed then.
Hopefully.
Well, we've also got Paddy Helfers. Can you see the comments coming in, Gordo?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Okay, so will you, whilst Gav's tying this fly, say hello to people? And also as well is what Paddy's actually doing as well whilst Gav's tying the fly.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you go. So Gav, will you actually explain the materials you need to tie this fly? And also, as well as I know that Paddy, he's actually going to try and tie this. Now, Paddy, all I ask is if you get stuck on anything, just pop a question on and we're going to actually see if you can actually get this tied at the same time. And obviously, Tony Salters, Gordo.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, that was a good day. I'm glad you saw the post. I was trying to get it out so people know that you can actually catch on your own flies that you tie.
Yes, you can, definitely.
Yeah.
So the materials that you need for your junction shrimp, but you can always vary it by using lots of sparkle or crystal hairs. But it's mainly orange bucktail, a black thread, or orange thread if you want, or white, black floss, some silver tinsel for your rib. Oh, can't see. That's basically it. Quite smart. Limited materials. 2 bucktails, some flash maybe, and floss. Okay, I'll start tying that, all right? So catch in your thread, give yourself plenty of room for a head if you're using too thick a floss and threads. Take it about just beyond halfway.
Are you tying that on a tube?
Yes, I'm tying this one on a tube. You can tie it on a double or a treble. Cut off the excess thread.
And is that a copper tube?
Yeah, this is copper because we've got quite a bit of heavy water just now. We're running almost 1'6", 1'8". So we need a heavy fly to get down amongst the fish that are running. Okay, so cut some orange bucktail. Quite a...
Can you just, you're going to need to go a bit higher for everybody?
Like that, and get rid of that. Now if you hold the ends quite tight and then give it a flick, and you'll see all the sort of short ends and broken bits of hair will fall out. So then you've got your orange hair ready to go on. So you can measure it up against the tube or the hook. I usually have about 1.5 lengths of the hook or whatever your tube that you're using. So you take that down to about your measurement, put it halfway down the tube, hold on with both fingers and bring your thread over 1 full turn and slowly catch it in and give it 2 more turns, and then just press your finger on top and try and spread the hair round your tube. On doubles and trebles, it's a bit harder. You're probably better off tying it separate, top and bottom. So just spin the fly around just to have a look, make sure your hair is all the way around and it's okay there. So I'll do a few more wraps just to secure it.
And the vice you're using, Gav, that's obviously one of those rotating vices, because not all vices can rotate, can they?
No. Some people won't have a tube fly vice, and then they can buy a little clip that goes into your ordinary vice. I think they're HMH, or I think Veniers maybe do one now that will hold your tube. But sometimes if it's on a needle and you're trying to tie your thread in tight, it'll spin very hard. So sometimes I put a bit of wax on the needle just to make it stick a bit better.
Oh, nice one.
So, okay, so you take your hair and have a look where the end of the tube is. So I want to leave enough room where the thread finishes, about there, for the head. So I'm going to make a sort of small angle cut to sort of taper the hair. Turn it around a bit further, lift the other half. Same again, that's a little cut. Sorry if the finger's getting in the way. So that's the hair cut off. Now just secure it down, tidy up all the ends. You don't have to be too neat, because you've got to cover it all up with black floss at the end. So now's the time, if you want to put a bit of crystal hair in, you can add it in. Just take a couple.
So why are you putting crystal hair in?
Well, some people like a bit more flash in their tube flies nowadays, or again just to get away from something different, and you just put a couple of strands in.
And how long have you actually been tying this fly, Gav?
Well, like I say, probably 40 years. Certainly since when I started at the Junction. I tied some up one night and took them to work, and Mrs. Miller was in the bridge with me fishing, and we're struggling a little bit. So I said, come on, Mrs. Miller, let's put this on, let's try this. And we put the fly on and caught 10 salmon. So when we got back to the hut at night and said that we'd had 10, Mr. Miller says, oh, well done, but I know what you're going to be doing tonight. I says, what's that, Mr. Miller? Tying flies. So I was sent home to tie flies for everybody. So that's your tinsel in, your crystal hair in now. If you want, you can put a bit of varnish on the hair to secure it. I don't really bother, but some people might. So I'm going to add my tinsel for the rib. Just pop it on and give it a few turns and go back down to where your black thread finishes. Put your tinsel out of the way. Now get a piece of floss, cut it to whatever length you want. I like to double mine up, and so put 2 on at a time. So you square the ends. Okay, so now adding your black floss.
And you're adding your materials to the front of if you're looking at it, aren't you?
Yeah, all the waste ends are going up towards the front, so I can try and taper them. You can't really see it. Hold on. But I'm not.
We have moved all the cameras
If you
that
can
we
see
have.
they're all sort of tapered. Tinsel's further back, the floss is a little bit further forward. So then take your thread up towards where the head's going and just stop there. If you want, you can make a little whip finish so that it doesn't bounce off when you're wrapping the floss. So you take your floss, you can double it up and just start to slowly wind it up.
Well, can I ask a question as well? Davy Black, I don't know if you can see these questions coming in, Gordo. Davy Black has said, Gavin, where'd you get the bulk spool of floss like that?
Oh, I got that at Ted Hunter's in Melrose. That'll be 40 years ago as well. This is my last one. I'm not sure if they were Vineyards. I think I bought them for £3.50 for a whole spool. So well worth the money then. So you just take this floss all the way up, just nice and steady.
Is it like a touch and turn?
You can, yeah. You can always go over the same bit twice if you want. Don't worry about the taper, really. As long as you leave enough room for your head. So that's the floss up. Now you've got to secure that now.
And do you use wax, Gav?
I've got wax thread, so not so much.
Do you use wax, Gordo?
Yeah, that's one of my favourite Semperfly products is the waxed thread. It saves time and it holds it in nice and neatly, and it's nice and strong.
It does. And you can use any thickness of thread. And like I say, you can you could use orange. Cut your black off now, tie it orange in, you can have a hot-headed junction shrimp or any fly, even your semper dog. You could change it, put floss in, and have it bright yellow or bright red.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're just going to take the rib up now. And you can take 3 or 4 full turns, or as many as you want. Don't worry about it. Oh, I'm afraid tinsel's breaking.
And the other thing as well is, Gav, is that I know when I've tied these, I literally, the way that my tinsel looks, it doesn't look very neat.
Yeah, well.
Does that make a difference,
No,
Gav?
no, I don't think the fish will see that.
Thank you.
It's got to be all underneath the hair. You might get a little glint of it. And you could try flat tinsel in if you want to make it easier. Or you could use a dubbed holographic body from Light Bright or something and make it really bright underneath. I should have pulled one of those flies out, but
because at this present moment in time, with the water being dirty where you are, anything that's going to be bright as it's coming through the water will obviously just attract the fish, won't it?
It is,
in that taking mood. A
bit more flash. And like I say, get away from all these leaves that are coming down. Okay, so your bucktail, your white bucktail. I don't like it to be too thick, so I don't really put a lot on. And don't worry about your bucktail. Tie it in 2 clumps or 3 clumps. You don't have to all put it on in one go. Just in small amounts, 2 or 3 turns, have a look at it, and then just move on. So here we go.
And where do you get your bucktail from, Gav?
This is Vineyards, I think this one is, and I got it at Border Guns. They've got a great stock of all different colours bucktail. So I want my bucktail not to be the full length of the fly, because I want the orange to show at the tail, sort of taper a bit effect on it. So I sort of measure it up about there for me. Hold my fingers there and swap fingers over now. I'm going to cut the bucktail there. Offer it up, nice and easy. 1 turn, just nice and gentle. 2, and just give it a little squeeze. Don't push it all the way around. Like I say, you can do it in 3 clumps or 4 clumps, whatever you want. Twist it round a wee bit to your next tie-in point. Same again. Cut some more off. It's not a very big clump. Some people will use a hair stacker and get them all the same length, but I'm not really that bothered. It can be rough looking, the better. Measure it up again. Keep your fingers there. Swap over. Cut to size. Offer it up again. 1 good turn. 1 good turn. And another one just to secure it. Gently again. Pushing it round.
For everybody who actually is tying this fly as well, if you go onto the Fish Pals YouTube page, we have actually had Gav tie the fly in steps. So you'll be able to follow it as well after this. You did that a while ago, didn't you, Gav?
Yeah, we did that a while ago. One rainy day. Same again, offer it up, checking maybe your last bunch. I've got to get the hoover out after.
Do Does your mum, does all your family tie, Gordo?
Yeah. Occasionally everyone does. Sometimes we do it all together, like at the Inverness Angling Club fly tying classes that they do after the fishing season's over. But obviously this year they aren't doing it because of COVID-19 and the restrictions. But yeah, just across from me, we've got our fly tying table. So that's got from all my Semperfly products to my deer hair to my flash to all my tools and everything is over there. So it's all just in the house. But the only bit I don't like about it is when after you have to hoover it, because
Yeah.
it goes all on the carpet, and then the dog comes and it tries to lick it all up, and then it starts coughing, and then. But apart from that, I like fly tying. Mum likes fly tying. Shan and Dad like fly tying. It's just a good pastime if you've got either nothing else to do or the fishing season's over.
And during lockdown, your mum brought all your fly tying in from the shed, didn't she?
Yeah, so we moved here a year ago and we built 2 sheds out the back, and one was specifically for fly tying, and it didn't kind of turn out specifically for fly tying. It's got junk in it, it's got boxes in it, it's got everything in it. So we just decided that we'd take all our fly tying stuff inside and make it inside. It's warmer in the winter and it's easier to access as well.
Yeah. I just tidied up the edge so it makes it a bit neater with a Stanley blade, but you can just do it with scissors, don't worry about it. So just gently start to square up the head a bit.
When did you start fly tying, Gav?
When I was about 16, maybe 15, 16.
Gordo's age.
Yep, yeah. When I started trout fishing, and because a lot of the flies, we went to locks and that, and we couldn't get them here. So I ended up making my own, and that's how I started. And then there was night classes at the high school, and went to them just to get polished off a bit more. Some of the boys went on and done fully dressed salmon flies and that. But it's just, so that's me finished my head. I'm just going to finish it off with a whip finish. You can either use a tool or use your hands.
Do you use your hands, Gordo, or have you got a tool?
I vary it. I don't do the one that Gavin just did. I do normally it's one turn over my finger and poke it in the eye or the end of the hook and pull it off.
Just an ordinary half hitch.
Yeah, or I do the whip finishing tool. Because I learnt that and I found it easy. And then when I went to the Inverness Angling Club fly tying classes, everyone started asking me, how do you do it? So I had to start telling people how to do it because it's an easier way of doing it, and I find it's more secure in the head and it holds it in properly. But
yeah, well, I do 2 whip finishes just to make sure it doesn't fall apart, or the first one doesn't fall out. Now, then I would varnish this. Normally, I'd put a really thin coat of varnish on, and then a thicker one. Then I put black varnish on top of that, and then a clear coat over that. So it takes about 2 days to dry now. But if you want to do it really fast, you could do what Davy McPhail does. And I put a thin coat of super glue over it, and then a coat of hard as nails, and then you're ready to go in the morning. That's it, finished.
I normally use hard as nails as well, or I just bought some Semperfly non-tack UV resin, and I'm finding it good as well. So
that's good. So there we are. How we can get closer to it?
Well, you can pick it up.
I know.
Yeah. So if you lean in, that's it. A bit higher.
I'll do that.
That way, yeah. So there you go. And I hope the gentleman that was tying along with it has actually been able to do it. If everybody can see, we will post the photograph of what Gavin is actually working around. He's got that many lights around him to get this this evening. So huge thanks there, Gav. You've done a variation on that, haven't you, that you're fishing at the moment?
Well, yes. I've not got one here.
No, don't worry. And what's the variation on it?
It's just a snelder. But, well, sorry. I've got a silver-bodied Junction shrimp. It makes it a bit brighter at the top end. And I use, like I say, light bright, holographic light bright underneath. And that really just shines out. And then you don't have to put any tinsel in that, because as it shreds out when you're fishing, it gets lots of glitter out the tail.
Well,
So
sorry.
how do you fish it, Gavin? Like, is it long strips or?
No, sort of swing it round, cast it out, good mend. If it's a quite a heavy stream, let it start to swing. I'll maybe give it a little tweak every now and again. And then when it gets to the end, just a nice slow retrieve and then get faster.
Okay.
But sometimes I just hammer it on the swing, so you don't have to do a thing to it.
Okay.
Well, we've had Paddy Halfers. He's come back and he said, thank you. My first attempt isn't bad, but as always, the second attempt will be much better.
That's
Thank you there, Paddy. And Tony Catton has just joined. He's tying the Junction shrimp, seen so many variations. So to be correct, orange bucktail for a tail, black frost body ribbed with silver over rib and white bucktail ackle. Will you just talk through exactly what everybody needs for this and just show the bits?
Okay. Well, first, like I say, any thread you want, you could use wax thread, black or white thread. And then we need some orange bucktail. I think, like I say, I think this is Vineyards. And then after that, we need some silver tinsel rib.
Where's that from, Gav?
That's a Vineyards, but maybe 10-year-old. Bit of a Scotsman, you know. So then black floss. It can be it can be thick floss or wool if you want to use wool. Or like I say, a light bright body dabbed underneath. And holographic silver is really flashy, looks really well. And then just your ordinary white bucktail for the head. You can add jungle cock or an imitation jungle cock if you want, and more flash, and just varnish.
And talk us through the varnish again as well, Gav, because I didn't know that it would take like 2 days before you actually.
Yeah, normally I use hard as nails. I'll use a very thin varnish to start with, because it soaks in through the thread and into the hair. But like I say, you can use super glue and just coat the whole head, and it'll be dry within 10 minutes. And then use your hard as nails at the end just to coat that, and you can fish it tomorrow morning or in 2 hours time. The only thing, even hard as nails, it takes at least a day to really go rock hard. It'll dry within half an hour, but to really set hard, it has to be a whole day.
Well, Ian Wilson's come on, and he said, good evening. He said, a classic tweed fly tied by one of the best in the business. I think that's a compliment to Gordo.
It is, aye.
You get a lot of your products from where do you actually tend to buy a lot of your products from?
Well, Border Guns, it's my handiest tackle shop. Even Finning Game that have funky fly tying, or just when I see it in a shop when I'm away on holiday, I'll walk in and have a look around and have a look at the back tails, or something might just take my eye and I'll buy that and I'll stick it in a big box and it's there for a rainy day. Because there's always the fear that when the aunties get a hold of shooting and fishing, that your materials are going to get less and less. They're trying to stop you importing Arctic fox just now. So that's for you, Gordo. Get stocking up an Arctic fox.
Yeah, I think we've got a few bits, but
Yep.
won't be enough if we'd never get any more. So
I know, but you can use some of the stuff you get when you're shooting, like pheasant tail. You can use that for your trout flies, but you can also use it for your Francis, for the hair at the end. And instead of using calf tail, you can tie in pheasant tail, and it's a much finer for the smaller fly.
Yeah,
a lot of movement in it.
Yeah, I never actually thought of that because I go beating quite a lot during the season, so never knew about that. So I might start asking for some.
Yeah, just pull them out. See, it was no tail.
So Pud joined us. We hope you're feeling better, Pud, as well. So sending Pud a virtual hug because he had a bit of an accident the other day. So we hope you're well. Yeah. And obviously John Taylor's coming. Has anybody got any comments or feedback or questions for Gavin? And also Gordo, do you guys have any more comments? Because I've got no ladies on yet, unfortunately. So any comments, or have you got any more questions, Gordo, for Gav?
Is there any tips you've got for fly tires?
Pardon?
Do you have any tips for beginners or anyone that does fly tying?
Yeah. When you're putting hair on, always measure it up. Have a look. Always put less than you ever think you need, and just try. And when you're putting thread wraps on, just 2 or 3. Don't go 6, and then the head will get bigger and bigger. 2 or 3 nice turns. Keep it tight. Then have a look at it, and you can progress on from there. If it's not looking great, then you can take them back off and fix the head, or take more hair off. Other tips, it's hard. I've learned that many over the years for trout fishing and for fly time for trout. And you could sit here and do this all day long. You pick something up. It's just one of those natural things nowadays that I probably do and never think about it.
Well, Cheyenne's come on, the wonderful Cheyenne Stronach. We love Cheyenne. Gordo, do you want to ask that question?
Can you use the same pattern but change the colours for different seasons?
Yes, definitely. You could put black and yellow, or even an olive into it. Anything. You could put 2 colours into the tail if you want. There's lots of variations. There's pinks, purples, everything. You can experiment. Usually find that purple works when it's really low and cold. So,
Gordo, do you want to ask that question?
So Paddy Halford says, Gav, how is your thumb after Bob Mortimer stuck a fly into it?
Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah, I'm glad he missed my head.
What was it like filming for that? Because you've done a lot of filming.
Yeah, it was fun. What they were getting up, what they're speaking about in the boat was really great, and you were laughing. But some of you had to cut. You couldn't put it on the television.
And at the moment, how is Junction fishing at the moment? Are you seeing fish in the river?
Yeah, we've had a rise of water this week. We had 9 on Monday, and we had a lot of fish about on Monday, and then we got 3 feet through it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and we've lost a lot of those fish that were there. And today we've seen a lot of fish, well, quite a few fish moving in, but moving straight through us. I know that upper floors, they caught a fresh fish this afternoon. So it just shows you they're pushing on, they're not stopping. It's that time of year, they've got to get to the headwaters.
We've got another question as well for you.
Cheyenne, my sister, says, what is your favourite time of the year to fish the fly?
Oh, hard to say. I enjoy summer fishing when I come up to the Spey. I know I get then I'm fishing. No, I'm not rowing a boat then. But yeah, the back end is good fun. I know we've got sunk lines and heavy flies, but it's a great feeling getting that big pool of something. You just don't know what it's going to be.
Okay, and I think your mum, what's your mum say?
She said, we need to tie this fly. I agree with Mum. I think we do, to fish with next season.
You'll have to show me it when you've done it.
It won't look anything like yours.
Oh, it will.
Well, thank you so much, everybody that's come on and commented. We know we did this quite last minute, but we just wanted to get Gav onto this because thank you so much, Gav. And of course, Gordo, because you're an up-and-coming junior angler, and it's important that the sport has lots of young people. So what do you think of the fly tying, Gordo?
I think it's good. It's something you can do when the season's over, as I said earlier, and it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a money saver, because when you go into shops, it costs quite a lot of money to buy flies, and if you make your own, it's a fraction of the price, and you get to use your favorite products, and you can do them and take photos of them and stick them on your Instagram, Facebook, social medias. So it's good, I guess. I like it.
Yeah, especially on a rainy day, you can sit down at the tying bench and get a few knocked up.
Well, boys, you're going to need to say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to end this broadcast because we can have our tea.
Steak. Okay. Thank you. See you, Gordo.
Bye, Gavin.
Bye.
Bye.